Merry Christmas! I am loving today. It's Christmas Eve. Who has all their presents wrapped? I was up till 1 o'clock last night getting everything wrapped. And then this morning we hop up, motor out of here to get to church on time because I get to church really early to do all the media stuff. And really quick before I left, I got Mike to help me take those pictures. And I know that over the last 2 weeks, things have really been feeling so good. And when I looked at the pictures side by side, I was kind of floored. I'm living it, I should know. But it's so easy to get trapped in a mental loop when it comes to going after health, going after weight loss, all those things. And I just wanted to pop on here and explain a little bit about these pictures. A lot of you have been following my journey with my weight loss, my personal growth, everything that I've been diving into over the last couple years. And I gotta say, I hit a place a couple weeks ago and I realized 40 was knocking on my door. And I felt crummy again. And I started looking back and I'm like, where did this happen? Because I had been rolling so good and feeling so good. And I was able to track it down because you got to kind of break down self. Where did things fall apart? And it was my focus. My focus had shifted. I was in learning mode. I was helping other people. I was being their accountability partner, and I was doing everything I could to support my family and everybody else. Well, I ended up kind of taking a back seat, and I let the important things that were helping me feel so good to do all the things that I was feeling led to do go by the wayside. Well, the realization that 40 is right there kind of cracked me out of my shell. I said, you know what? I got to do this. I've got 6 months till I'm going to be 40. Let's just see what I can do. Put all this knowledge to good use. I love John Maxwell. He always talks about it's really easy to put a book together about personal growth and development, but really what he's doing is he's talking to himself, because wrangling yourself to follow all these rules is the hardest thing in the whole package. You can break it down into good principles, but if you never take the steps, then it's just learning. And there's so much more to be learned if we can go ahead and forge forward. So I had to get back out of learning mode and into action mode. And I want to explain something. There are 3 modes as you go through wanting to make some personal change. I don't care if it's weight, finances, health, mindset. It's the same pattern. You have a time frame where you learn, a time frame you're acting, and then the time frame where you fail. So you get to repeat. Well, for me, I thought I had everything broke down into simple concepts, and the failure must have been me. Today at church was really good because Pastor kept talking about failure is a process. I have heard this 1,000 times before. Failure is a process. Raise your hand, throw an emoji, something in here if you've heard that too. Failure's not a person, it's a process. Yet it was very easy to believe that the reason all these good strategies weren't working was me. It was my fault. I wasn't doing it well enough. I needed to try harder. How many of you out there think that trying harder next year with the same plan is going to give you the results that you've been chasing? Trying harder is not a strategy. The strategy and the failure, you have to understand those 3 steps. Learn, act, fail, get back over here to learn. And if you're somewhere stuck in the middle and not seeing where the next step is, or you feel like your revolutions all look the same, the learning factor isn't broken down enough. The failure factor may not be broken down enough. There is a blessing to be found in a breakdown. Oh, I like that. I like that. A blessing in the breakdown. We've all, I've had my own life breakdown. I've broke down financially, I've broke down emotionally, mentally, I've struggled with all those kinds of things. And somewhere in that breaking down, I always found a kernel to get back up or to breathe, take the next breath and move forward. And breaking it down has become a process for me, and it's become my greatest weapon. So I started looking at all these steps. I have been getting lots of strategy, lots of reasons why to do this. You need to know so much to make a good success of things, and each time I've done this, I've known more. But what I really found was I needed to break things down further. My learn has two parts. I have to do a self-evaluation, and then I have to find the resources to attack the reason of my failure from before. Because when I look at myself and what I've already been doing, what failed, why did it fail? So if we're gonna just talk about one little piece, let's take my weight loss and weight gain as an example. I have lost and gained probably the same 40 to 50 pounds a few times in my life. And that was always really depressing to think of. But at the same time, the more I realized that failure, not a person, is a process, that I get to learn something here and attack it differently, I started really getting on fire and finding out more. So if I was looking at weight loss, what were my self-evaluation pieces? How many of you out there have ever been hangry? Put it in the comments if you've been hangry. I had my moments. I really struggled first thing in the morning. I hated that feeling where your belly's empty and you're living on willpower alone, and motivation would only last. It just like burned through that willpower. And I gotta tell you, motivation, kind of crap. You have to be driven. It's those hard times and the choices you make when you are uncomfortable that actually move the needle forward, get you the progress you're wanting. Getting those goals that you've spent all this time defining, you've got to settle into uncomfortable, driven action. But here's the key. If you're doing the same actions and getting the same results, maybe you haven't broken down the learning enough. Maybe there's some holes in there. And so for me, over a lifetime, I've gotten to learn some stuff. Like one, do you have a balanced gut? Do you understand how different foods affect your specific body? My journey is going to look different than yours. Your journey is going to look different than your neighbor Sally. And your journey is definitely going to look different than everybody you ever compare yourself to. Comparison is the thief of joy. You have got to break things down in your own life, find strategies, find community, and then here's the key piece, because I was in break it down mode, let's learn it all. Nothing's worth it if you don't take action. You've got to make the steps go together. So guys, those pictures, if you haven't seen them, check out my Facebook. I put up some pictures today that are crazy, uncomfortable, not my thing. I am not the bikini girl. You won't catch me at the YMCA in a bikini. Maybe someday down the road. This lady's had twins, okay? The mama belly is a real deal. So I was super uncomfortable putting it out there, but I wanted to do it for a big reason. I know I'm not the only person that has ever struggled with this. I know there are mamas out there that have had the same struggle, and you still believe it's you. You still believe that in this process, you've got it all, and if I try harder next year, I'm going to get a different result. Oh, it doesn't work that way. Okay, so we have to figure out how to make that work, right? You've got the learn, act, and fail. I'm going to get to the fail in a minute because it's more important than we give it. You need to learn, but learning without action is not going to move the needle forward. You're not going to get any closer to that goal. If I learned that I have a soy problem, which we all last year or earlier this year, I was having my throat close up, hives down my body. I did get this under control so that I was not having a severe reaction anymore. And then I could tolerate having the soy in my diet. It wasn't that big a deal. You know, I wasn't thinking I was going to need an EpiPen. It's fine. Gluten. Everybody's heard everybody gripe about that guy, right? I'm like, oh, those people that are gluten-free are so annoying to me. Guys, I know from trying different food plans and actions. Over the last couple of years, I've taken nutritionist-driven food learning courses. And these have been fantastic because I see new recipes, new ways to approach food as a fuel for my body. I've been helping change cravings in my own body. And I saw how my body reacted. Well, lately when I put myself in the back seat and took care of everybody else, gluten and soy all over my life again. Yeah. Tony Robbins talks about life change does not take years. Life change does not take decades. Life change happens in a moment. That moment where you decide that you are worth it and who you are to be healthy. I had to decide that my health was worth the frustration of going soy-free and going gluten-free. Ugh! I'm that mom. Guys, I have kombucha in my fridge. I don't even want to talk about it. I didn't do it because it was a fad. I didn't do it because, let's try one more thing. I did it because I could see the effects on my body. And the 2 weeks was all I was going to commit myself to. I'm like, I'm going to do 2 weeks and see how this goes. I'm going to take the things I know that help balance my gut health. I'm going to take good vitamins so I know I'm supported. I'm going to balance my blood sugar, all of this stuff that I've been doing, but I'm going to factor in the things and keys I know that I don't react well to soy and gluten. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to go to the gym more, which I was going 0. So the 6-7 times that I went in the last 2 weeks are fantastic improvement, and it's going to get even better because I'm starting new habits. I broke it down. I was not even getting my water in like I needed to. I don't know if if you have trouble getting water in. We're supposed to have half our weight in ounces a day, minimum. And then if you're going through any kind of detox, sickness, any of that stuff, you probably need more. I was not doing that. I was having lots of chai tea because it's delicious and I felt like I had a good, healthy beverage and I could just have 5 of those a day, right? No, you need water. Water is a key essential thing. And guess what, guys? I live on a farm. I have a cost of a filter. It's not even a charge. This is something free that I can do for my health. So let me tell you something free that you can do for your health. Now, if you're Newton, your water bill might get expensive. I don't know. I doubt it. So if you have a water goal per day, I challenge you to break it down per hour. Sometimes we think something's so simple and we're the reason we didn't do it right. Break it down smaller. Think baby food. If you've got to puree your goal so that you are hitting a checklist every 10 minutes, do it for a while. Make it so manageable that you get momentum into those goals you need. So I broke my water goal down crazy simple. I planned my workouts the week on Sunday. I made the plan. And then when things went crazy, I was committed to making sure it went in the new plan. I mean, because life comes sideways. I'm a busy mom. How many of you get busy during the day? And it's the busy that gets in the way. Anybody? Hands up? Yeah? Throw it in the comments. What derails your day the most? I have kids to wrangle. I have sports to make it to. I have a business to help other people do these things. I mean, they're church. Life's going to get busy, and it doesn't ever not get busy. I have to handle my stress. And one of the things that hurts me the most when I make a food plan and an action plan is how hungry I get and how upset I get if I don't stick to my plan. So I had to give myself some grace. I built in some fail safes. I got a nice, cheap, free app to track my food and calories so I wasn't going on feeling alone. Some days you have an extra bite of something or you think that it was way more than what it was. You've got to own where you are, define it, find a good way to box it in and use it. Because if you can break it down, you can build yourself new. Absolutely. Here's the other piece. When we switch from learn to act, there's a couple breakdowns on acting. The first step of action is actually mental. Now, I want you guys to think Big Ben the clock. You have all these wheels upon cogs upon everything in there, getting the time hands to go around the clock, right? And if you jump in and decide, I am working out 7 days a week, I'm having 1,000 calories, and you're talking big strokes. These are the big cogs. You are going to use your willpower to crank that change into your life. And those wheels are going to burn through your willpower. It's just going to happen. You are not going to have enough strength and fortitude and momentum to keep cranking the big cogs of change. So what do you need to do? Find it small. Start with the thought, the plan. Just putting your plan down on paper or deciding all these things gets you into the motion of this change that can build motion and change your life. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Now let's talk failure. We already know failure is not a person, it's a process, and it just feels crummy. I gotta tell you, your feelings are big fat liars. I'm telling you, emotion is what shows up. It is a reaction to the world. Emotion is my stomach growling, or emotion is, oh, it's bright, or ow, that kind of hurts. Feeling is what I decide to do with that emotion. If I decide that emotion is actually me making the progress that I'm wanting, if that burn in my muscle means, yeah, girl, you did it. This week rocked out. I made my goal and I hit it. It's not frustration when I feel like I'm running 1,000 miles a minute and going every which way. It feels like success because I've taken the emotion and I've put it to a decision, and I've decided my feeling for that emotion is this girl's rocking it out. Now here's the thing. Our body and our mind come together to really mess with us, especially when you're talking weight loss products or weight loss journeys. So you have got to keep your cup full. You've got to know how to recharge, because learn, act, fail. You break it down. In the learn, you got the self-eval, the find the resources. Action, you've got to make your plan. Figure out what your hurdles were back there when you were learning. Organize stuff. Write it down. And again, failing to plan is planning to fail. If you want to make it to that next step, you've got to plan ahead. Write it down. Find an accountability partner. Get some systems in place. Find some community. It's important. Guess what the second part of ACT is? You actually have to do it. You have to take that action plan and do it. Just walk it. Where it fails, boom, have some, grace and roll back in there. Put it back on. Know what the important stuff is so that you keep hitting it. Keep rolling with it. There is no failure unless you decide to sit in it. So I want to explain failure. Learn, act, fail. Failure is going to start with success. And this may sound like the dumbest thing you've ever heard, but we always get a good plan, at least at some point. Maybe it took you a couple revolutions to get here, but you learned enough that you will find a plan and you will do it and you will be successful. Like this 2-week mark. Boom! Feeling great. I see some success. I feel good. I'm going to roll, right? The first part of failing is thinking that success lasts forever, or trying to sit in that success forever. Doing the same thing over time does not get you to build. Doing the same thing over time does this one. You go downhill. You have got to know that graph. Because with failure, starting with success, you've got to keep going until you find the next failure. Learn what you need to learn from it. Act faster and keep going. Learning these transitions so that you can turn them around and go faster with it is what will get you momentum. Having a community that understands that, having good strategies on your end is what motivates and moves this all forward. So I didn't do anything insane. I got crazy simple. I followed my food plan that I made. I've done some research. I understand keto. I understand metabolism confusion. I understand paleo and all these things. So I figured out what I needed to do. Big red flag for me was that hangry piece. That is where I fall apart every time. Life puts on the pressure. I have to maintain and take care of everybody else. So I had to have something that was quick, nutritious, and filling. And I found it. I'll talk about what I used in just a minute. But you can find these same cycles and revolutions in your own life. You don't have to use or do what I did, but you got to find the community to support you. You've got to reach out. You've got to be accountable, and you have to work that system. Learn, act, fail, break each of those down so that you are making it bite-sized chunks. And really, why are you doing it? Why not just stay what you are, doing what you've done, being where you're at? Now, you need to own where you're at. It's really hard to change and move forward if you don't know where you are, if you haven't owned where you are. I had to look in the mirror. And I love Goggins. I mean, that dude, his accountability mirror is real deal. I've been writing with dry eraser markers on my mirrors for a long time. And talking to yourself real in the mirror is important. But don't oversell it and don't gloss it over. I was getting fat again. I was frustrated, but I wasn't doing the work to stay healthy. I was ignoring the fact that my body was making it real clear I didn't feel good. I hurt. I couldn't move. Everything was just going the wrong way. My focus was failing. My attitude was failing. I took a real strong look and owned where I was at. Hi, Jen. I love you. I love you. So I got crazy simple. I have notes back here because I get so distracted. I would talk to you guys forever. I love my husband, and if you heard that from him, please ignore it. So, I have these dreams, and a lot of them have to do with helping other people realize their own special gifts. Knocking the dirt off the diamonds is one of the things I love to do. I love to see other people wake up to their God-given gifts and just shine. I mean, they sparkle and shine, and my heart is happy. I love that. It is a blessing. I can't do that if I'm not taking care of me. I can't be the best mom to my children. I mean, some of the best gems in my life are in my own house. And if I put myself in the back seat, I can't be my best for them. God's honest truth. And I know that. So I got real. I looked myself in the face and I said, where are you? Are you taking care of you? How often do you talk about needing a full cup to be able to pour sweet water on other people? To be ready for whatever God puts in your path. Now that God has all kinds of power. He does. Guess what he expects of us? Action. Motion. He expects us to keep moving, like we are going to have what we need when we need it. He brings it to you. Do something. I mean, David would have never felled Goliath if he hadn't thrown the stone. If he carried some rocks in his pocket, that's step one. He broke it down. He had the rocks. But guess what? If he never put the rock in the sling and threw it, we'd have a whole different book. It's as simple as that. You guys have the rocks in your pocket. You have heard of the rocks maybe, and you just haven't picked them up and put them in your pocket. And now you actually have to be in motion and action to have the change you want. That's where I'm at. I am in motion. I'm committed to it. I'm going to do it in front of you guys so that I don't get to slack off. My family's holding me accountable. I told my husband he can be mean. He's excited. You know, Marines, the Marines that love you need an excuse. But I've owned the fact comfort is a trap. It really is. And when you seek comfort, it will not be comfortable. It won't be for long because it's that failure graft of going down. I've got to seek uncomfortable. I've got to seek failure so that I can hit the next step, so I can keep learning what I need to learn. And I want to talk to you guys about something that came up at church today. Good is the enemy of great. This sounds simple. You may have heard it. Hands up in the comments if you've heard good is the enemy of great. Like an echo in my head, Chip says good is the enemy of great. And I heard in my head, well, why do you want to be great? And the answer was, great has nothing to do with you and everything to do with those around you. Good is selfish. If you're okay and you're good, it's only about you, and you're only going to grow so much. If you really look for great, not just good, not just okay, for great, people around you light up. It's like you are this overflowing light that spills out into the life around you. Great has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with anything other than it brings my life joy. Not always happiness. Happiness comes and goes. I can still have joy in hardship. I can still grieve and carry joy like a flame in my heart, because then I get to learn and keep moving. And life gets so much better when joy is at the core. And I have somebody joining me on our talk here. So I just wanted to tell you, if you failed, that's okay. You are now ready to do the next step. Have you failed before? Yeah? Did you do it better the next time? Yeah, I think you did. It feels like failure is me, but failure's a process. You gotta let it go, get through the learning so that you don't. Sometimes we stop in the learning mode because we're avoiding the next failure. Failure comes after action, and if we don't have action, maybe we won't fail again. Here, go around to Dad. My life's coming together. Guys, I've failed enough, and I've paid attention, and I wrote it down, I've learned, I've chased strategies. The last year, almost 2 years, I have just been sucking in the knowledge. I need to know how to do it better for me, for my life, my family, those I love, and I love to share. So I have people coming to me that want to do that same thing, and I'm coming on here because I know there's more of you out there. You need to figure out something, and I would be happy to talk with you and listen to what's going on for you, because everybody's got it in them. You need to align your resources, find a community, and then get to action. You've got to move it, okay? So one of the things that God just had me chuckling about today is God's timing is perfect. I did this 2-week challenge. Last week, I knew that one of my things to do was to get in touch with the doctor, because I've dealt with hormone issues, this weight gain, pain, focus, mood, you heard me talk about that. And so when I broke down my weight loss hurdles that I was still hitting the same stuff, one of those things I needed was the quick energy, healthy choice that got me through. And so what I've been using is lean. Lean is a meal replacement with digestive enzymes, with vitamins. This is the real deal, guys. This is like healthy, not just get through, shut down your hunger. This feeds my body what it needs. I mean, you can see the pictures just in 2 weeks of when I got cornered and life got hard. I didn't grab McDonald's. I didn't give up on not having soy or gluten, because I own the fact that they don't do well with me. I grabbed something that was healthy and fast and it kind of tastes like I'm doing dessert, but that's a perk. And then I used Slim Hunger Control, okay? These are 2 things that together keep my hunger out of the picture. I ran out of lean, and that made it so clear the other day. My stuff just came today on a Sunday. God's timing is perfect. Who delivers mail on a Sunday except for people when they need Plexus? Apparently, right before Christmas, when I need to talk to you about these changes I made and what it looked like for my life. These two things are helping me in huge ways. Balancing blood sugars, keeping my attitude good. But when I ran out of the lean, it showed. Man, I was chasing every convenience store trying to find a healthy option with no gluten, no soy, sticking to my plan, and the plan fell apart because I didn't plan to spend all day driving with two little girls that were needing to pee every 5 miles. Anybody else? Twin mom? But I got to see what that had been doing for me the rest of those 2 weeks, because that had been my go-to. If life got crazy and hectic, I grabbed a lean shake, either a snack or the full meal size. Here's the second part of God's timing is perfect. They came out with a new product last week. I have been planning to go to the doctor for more tests because of the hormones. We've done some tests and I keep getting no good answer. My hormones are wackadoo. I'm 39, I'm about 40. So sometimes they're like, well, maybe it's menopause, but your hormones don't quite say that. Well, maybe it's thyroid, but it's not enough that we care. And there's a lot of this gray area in health that I've found. Personally, over the last couple of years, my health has improved drastically. I barely get sick anymore. My energy level is up. My skin is the best it's been in my entire life. I'm going to look better and feel better at 40, even doing what I've been doing, hands down. And then Plexus brought out something new. It's called MetaBurn. I just started it today. This MetaBurn is all about that piece of our attitude that gets crazy and wonky when we're making these changes. They're supporting a good mental mood with natural products. They are encouraging the body to burn fat from around your middle. The tough stuff, the stuff that's insulin resistance is what everybody keeps talking about. I kept looking into people talking about that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why am I always fat in these areas? Why is that the hardest area for it to lead? Well, Plexus did a bunch of studies and learning, and MetaBurn was their answer. They've been working on this for a long time, and they just released it last week. I'm so excited to start taking it. The ladies that were sharing about their journey with it. Can you go with your dad, please? And I'm sorry, that's so loud. I'm starting today. So I'm going to be really excited over the next couple weeks to show more pictures. I'm blown away by this journey. I have all the community helping me I need. I have smart, wonderful medical people that have been giving me good advice. I have amazing products that have been doing the same thing. And like I said, God's timing is good. I know there are people out there that need to do this too. Like, you have struggled with your weight. You've struggled with accountability. You keep thinking try harder is going to be your plan for 2019. I want to give you another option. I want to give you some more rocks for your pocket and some accountability to get your steps a-going. We have a sign-up special right now, $9.99 for a whole year of ambassador prices. That is insane. $9.99 for you to be able to get these products at their cheapest possible price. You have full access to our community of support, and all the kinds of stuff that this amazing company does is right there at your fingertips. If you need to have a business, I'm welcome to help you with that. That's what I love to do. I love to help you get healthy. I know there are people out there, I don't even know that I'm saying it right, other than I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm in the trenches. The timing couldn't be better. It's New Year's. If you want a new you, maybe try harder should be 2018's plan. And 2019, come talk with me. Let's get some strategies on the table. come dip into my resources I've been putting together. Take advantage of this amazing special and sale, and let's get you some good tools in the cupboard to just rock 2019 out. Because this girl managed to lose 10 pounds over the holidays. And I survived all the holiday stress without killing anybody. I mean, we did the last minute shopping, we did the last minute present wrapping, and we're enjoying our day. And guess what? In my life, it's gonna get even better, because this is gonna help all those hard places even more. So I love you guys. Thank you for taking a minute. If there's something in here that struck with you, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. If there's something you're struggling with, put it in the comments. I will be happy to talk with you. Message me privately or put it on this video. If you think there are people you know that need to hear that they are worth investing in, that their health is worth a priority shift in their life, share this video so that more people can hear that it's not about trying harder. It's about understanding, learn, act, fail, and reset that. Okay? I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.